Good evening, guys. If you guys are interested in seeing how we made our rice and lentil dish called Mujaddara, I don't know how to say it, but you already saw what it was from the video title, so that's what it is. Keep watching if you want to see how to make that. Here is the cast of our little Mujadara party. Okay, the main party goers would be the lentils. Now we used red this time, but we heard that these are more mushy than any of the others. So we do have black lentils here, we do have green lentils here, and we do have brown lentils here. We're going to use brown next time and see how it works out. And then we also have a mixture of wild rice and brown organic rice in here. We just mixed it up, and we use 1 cup of this, 1 cup of the lentils. Doesn't matter if you use the mushier kind or the firm kind, use 1 cup, whichever you choose. Then we have 3 onions here. We have 2 large. That goes last in your fry pan because you're going to caramelize these. This one you're just going to cut up into cubes. These are slices. These ones are just cut up into, diced into small cubes. And this, after you saute these just a little bit until they are translucent, you're going to add those to the rice and lentil mixture along with your water and chicken broth. Now this is, I know this is beef chicken broth, but this should be chicken. I just didn't have chicken. So you're going to use a cup, no, 2, well, I mentioned it in the video. I think you're going to use 2, almost 3 cups of chicken broth. So you're going to need a box of this, 32 ounces, because you're going to need a little bit left over for getting the little bits of the caramelized onion off of the pan. Then you're going to use a cube of this garlic here. And this garlic I get at Trader Joe's. It's just in cubes. Otherwise, one of these cubes equal 1 clove. So just use a clove if you don't have these. And just mince it as fine as you can mince it. The spices we're going to use is allspice, cumin, salt, and some chicken base. That is it. And then to top this, after everything is done, you're going to use Fage yogurt, 0% milk fat, and it is the Greek yogurt. So use any Greek yogurt. Definitely recommend using Greek, not the regular yogurt, because this is going to taste more like sour cream. That is it. And then you may use some water. If you don't use all chicken broth to boil your lentils and rice in, use water. Doesn't matter. I'm going to try the chicken broth next time. I did use water this time though. Tasted great. So it doesn't really matter which you choose. If you want lower sodium, use the water. If you don't care about the sodium, use the chicken broth. If you do use the chicken broth, probably won't need to use the chicken base. Just a heads up on that. That's why I used the chicken base, because I did not use the chicken stock. That is it, guys. That's all you need for this meal. Okay, guys. What I have in here is 1 3/4 cup of water, and then some wild rice mixture. And then I have 1 cup of lentils here that are rinsed and sorted, because sometimes you get some rocks in there, so make sure you sort them and rinse them really well. And I did rinse the rice as well. Okay, we're learning as we go. We decided to add the lentils because of some other recipes that we were finding say to add them together. So I added the lentils, and I added an extra 3/4 cup of water, 2.5 cups total water, with the rinsed rice in the lentils, and then let it simmer for about 40 minutes. Okay, we are just totally playing with this dish here. We had to add a little bit more water, just over 3/4 of a cup to our rice mixture there, because it was getting kind of down there. Now I've got 1 cup of diced onion. I measured it out with the 1 measuring cup, a full cup of diced onions in here to start sauteing. And then we're going to add these once translucent to the rice. We're totally just playing with this dish. We're going to probably add some cumin and garlic to these onions too.
That was actually the recipe.
So we'll probably add some garlic and cumin to this onions just to give it a little bit of flavor. Here, Corey is cutting up a large onion and a small onion. We're gonna do these, cut them in half and then do slices. I'm gonna fry these up until they are caramelized. Okay, inside here I'm gonna put 3 or 2.5 of these teaspoons. 3.5 I said? 2.5. So that was 2, and we're going to do a half of 1. I already put a half inside the onions here that are sauteing. So you're supposed to put a tablespoon in this whole dish. So we put a half a teaspoon in that. So that is going to be 1 tablespoon worth total. And then we're going to just stir it up a little bit and let this continue to cook. It smells so good. Like I said, we're just kind of playing it by ear here, and I don't know what we're going to end up with, but hopefully it'll taste good. I'll let you know. Alright, I did just add a cube of the garlic that we got at Trader Joe's, the crushed garlic. So I did add 1 cube of that in there. It's right there. These were almost done though when I added that. You just want them translucent, which they almost are here. And I got the garlic added in. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. Amazing smell. And this is all going to go in that rice when this is done. Just takes a couple minutes. Okay, we're going to add those onions into here now. And again, we're going to stir this up. Let me put the pan down. We're going to stir this up again. Add those onions in there.
Did you get the garlic?
Yep, the garlic is in there. And we're going to leave this continue to boil because those lentils are not done yet, and neither is the rice. It's really soaking up the water. Okay. We have some allspice here. We're going to add a half a teaspoon of allspice. Now we're just playing around here, trying to make it our own. And we are combining a lot of suggestions that we found online and just doing what we think is going to work out the best. Oh boy. Okay, we are starting to caramelize our onions here. Like I said, we cut them in half and then we cut them in slices. So this is going to take quite a while, so have patience with this and start it early. So we're going to leave this sit on medium heat with just a little spray of oil in there. And then I'm going to salt these as well. So this is actually the same process you do with French onion soup, but when this gets down to like browning bits and stuff, we're going to add a little bit of chicken broth to get that right off the pan and then keep frying them up. You'll see how brown these get as the time goes on. Rice has been going for 35 minutes and I'm pretty sure it needs more time. Okay, so it's going to need a little more liquid because it's kind of sticking to the bottom a little bit. So I'm going to put a little more liquid in here. I'll let you know how much. Okay, so I just put like 2 tablespoons of chicken broth in here, and I'm adding a teaspoon of the Better Than Bouillon in here, just for some sodium, because it's kind of bland without it. And like I said, we are playing around with this, so we will let you know what this tastes like. And just give it a good stir, make sure that's all. It actually has a really good flavor right now. The onions have been going for about 5 minutes now. And now I'm just going to leave this continue boiling until all the liquid is totally out of this. I don't know if it's supposed to be mushy or not, but it's definitely done. So it was I would say 35 to 40 minutes. I had it on just simmering. Okay, we are stirring this up now after like 10 minutes, and now we're going to continue to let this cook. And if you need to, like I said, if it gets too sticky or if there's brown bits on the bottom, add a little bit of chicken broth to get that off and continue cooking. And just to mention, you may want to start these onions the same time you start your rice because this takes a long time, and I forgot how long this took. So we are kind of just waiting out here. This is done, the rice is done, and this will take at least 20 more minutes yet. So we will continue cooking this down. This has been going for 20 minutes now, and as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit of bits over there. So in a little bit, we're going to add a little chicken broth to get that off of there. And this is still not done yet, but you can tell it's getting a lot browner. Okay, so we are going to weigh this out. Is it zeroed out?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to weigh this out and see how much we get. I'm trying to hold the camera and scoop at the same time. Our onions are still cooking. It's been about 30 minutes now, close to. And I'll show you what they look like after we're done. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Get all those in there.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit in there. Okay, so that is, we'll turn it to ounces. 2 pounds, 3.9 ounces.
Yep.
So if we divide this,
Well, that's 30, say 36 ounces
so 36 ounces divided by 6.
is 6.
6 ounces?
Yeah.
Okay, so grab out 6 ounces and put it in there.
See what it looks like?
See what it looks like. Okay, so that is
Yeah, it seems like a
one
little bit.
serving. You think that's good?
That seems like a little low. To me.
Little low? Okay, put in, divide it by 4 then. Because 4 would be only 5 points, 4 servings.
So that's 9 ounces? Yeah, 9 ounces. Yeah, look at that.
All right, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
about
better.
perfect. Okay, so that's 9 ounces of this rice and lentil. So we're going to continue to dish this out and get 4 servings out of this. Okay, so this has been going for 30 minutes, and this is where we're going to stop it. Because one thing, we're hungry, and another thing, it smells way too good, and we're hungry. Guys, this is Mujaddara. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a Middle Eastern dish, but we kind of made it our own. And it says that you should serve it with a side of yogurt. So we're going to try it that way. What do you think? He's just trying it with some yogurt over there.
I had yogurt on my fork already, so.
Okay. What do you think?
It tastes okay with it. I don't know. I have to try it without it too.
Okay. So we're going to try this out. This alone is super good. Oh my gosh, it's really good with the caramelized onions over the top. Delicious. All right, this is really good with the yogurt. I just take a little bit of yogurt and take some Mujaddara with some onions, and it's really good. Really good. We're having this for lunch. It is 5 smart points because the yogurt is 0, and of course the caramelized onions are 0 because we did not use any oil. And they recommend putting oil in the rice. We didn't do that either. So it is just the 5 points for this pretty big meal. This is a small plate, but it's pretty large for lunch. That's what we're gonna have. It's so good. We weighed out a cup of lentils, and this is a 1 cup measuring cup, and this is how much 1 cup of lentils is. So you can see quite a bit of room left in there. So be sure to weigh your items, guys, because it's a little tricky when they just say a cup, a natural product. So it varies. So weigh out your stuff for sure, because that's a big difference. That's like a 1/4 of a cup difference, if not more. Oh, Luna. I hope you guys liked that video because this was a fantastic dish. We both loved it. At first, it was different. We weren't used to the spices that it had in it, I guess. But man, after you took like 3 bites, I was totally hooked. It was so good. I had so many people tell me, hey, try plain yogurt in place of sour cream. You won't be able to tell the difference. And I'm like, bularkey. I would definitely be able to tell the difference. I could not tell the difference on this dish. I could not. It tasted just like sour cream to me. So try it out. Plain yogurt, didn't add anything to it on the side. This is also meant to be paired up with maybe a salad of some sort. but they did say, hey, eat this with sour cream or yogurt on the side. Most of them have yogurt. Now, this dish also was meant to have a lot of oil, a crap ton of oil. Every video we saw on how to make Mujaddara, Mujaddara? I don't know how to say it yet, guys. I don't. I may never learn how to say it, but that's what it is. And most of the videos that we saw, when they fried up their onions, they would put in like a quarter cup of olive oil or vegetable oil. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is going to be so high in points. I did not add 1 teaspoon of oil. I didn't. I added a couple sprays of my olive oil that I keep in my Pampered Chef sprayer. That was it. It wasn't even a point worth, nothing to worry about. And then if it got a little too dry, I would add a little bit of chicken broth to it. I only had to add chicken broth once, and that was maybe a tablespoon just to get the bits off from the onions, as I mentioned in the video. This was so good, you guys. Try it out. The lentils we used were the red lentils. Now those get mushy. We didn't realize that until after we watched all these videos. We wanted to use them up. I loved the dish. I loved it mushy like that. I really did. If you do not like it mushy, make it the same way, but use brown or green lentils. They recommend brown or green in this dish. It'll be drier, like a rice would be normally. So we're going to try that next time just to try it out. We loved it though. It was good mushy too. It was just good. So in place of the red, instead of using the red, do exactly the same thing, but use the brown or the green instead, the lentils. So I just wanted to bring that up. That is it though, guys. It was a fantastic dish. We will be making this often. I loved it. I'll probably end up making it tomorrow. Give this meal a try. I think you guys will really love it. You can also play with the spices. If you don't like the spices that I added in there, try something else. They did recommend maybe some cinnamon in there as well. We didn't really quite want to go that far yet. We love cumin. We know we love cumin. We know we love allspice, so we put those 2 in there. That was our choice. And we may kind of play with it a little more yet and see what we can come up with. If we find even a better recipe, I will upload that recipe and then get rid of this one or keep them both. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this though. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to share it if you think anybody else may love this recipe. Check out my Cook With Me playlist. There's a ton of recipes in there. Thank you again for watching. We will talk to you guys for the next one. Bye guys.